And you're wondering, why in the world am I happy? I'm going to tell you why. Because I've discovered, and I would tell them this before we had this 1 or 2 weeks, this is the first section when we talk about meals. If I make a meal plan for them, okay, and I write it out for them, if I do this and they are at 0, and then the next thing that happens is, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop you at least 10%. So I'm going to say 1,300 calories in. And I am going to increase the intensity of your cardio, about 5 beats a minute, and I'm going to add 5 minutes. So I'm adding some here. So now we're at, say, 1,800. I'm at a 500 calorie deficit, right? Or whatever it might be. So, since you did not change in your first 2 or 3 weeks, and I decreased your intake, and I increased your output, and that scale stays the same, I want you to understand that at that point, I'm going to call you out. And I would do this with clients at the beginning because before I did that, before I started doing that, I would have clients who would try to lay all their problems, why they're not progressing, on me. When I explained it this way, all of a sudden, it was confession time when that scale stayed the same. Okay? In the end, if you're in a deficit, you know, you're losing. And if you're not in deficit, you are not losing. You have to be in a calorie deficit to lose body fat. It's kind of like if you have a truck and you got a tank, but you have a reserve tank, why in the freak would you ever use your body fat reserve tank of gasoline over here if you haven't gone through this tank? You would never have to use the reserve. And this is the law of thermodynamics, which either can work against you if you keep gaining or you stay the same, or it can work in your favor.